before the pandemic, certain areas of business and life were present online, but after pandemic, almost all of them are present online. And cybercrime costs are predicted, let's say, to reach 9.5 trillion in 2024. So the projection for global spending on security and risk management in 2024 has increased by 14%, totaling, let's say, 215 almost billion of dollars. So many people are not educated yet in cybersecurity, and I think that the most important thing is to change that. So putting a big pressure highlight on educating in cybersecurity, because this will be more and more problematic for many businesses, because it's also after pandemic evolved a lot.
I am Samiksha Jain. I'm magazine producer as the Cyber Express. So over here, I take care about basically about editing articles, writing feature analysis pieces related to cybersecurity, hackers, then alliances. But then another aspect which I explore with Cyber Express is the business news that like industry in the cybersecurity itself. So that's my whole area apart from the core editing that I do for our writers. So this is me. So hello Dorota and welcome to our security bill section. I would like you to introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Dorota and I am Chief R&D Officer at g2a.com.
Okay, so Dorota, like I have seen that you have a rich background in economics, marketing, management, and then you shift to the cybersecurity field. So, what draw you to like towards cybersecurity? Was it a impulsive decision, or was it a plan, or do you find something really interesting that drawed you towards the cybersecurity?
So actually, when I was graduated in international relations from the University of Rome, I was looking for a job where I could use my knowledge of languages, English, Italian, Polish. I was a gamer, but more a casual type than a regular gamer. My recruiter told me about G2A, and then I decided to turn to Poland. Back then, G2A was an online shop for gamers, and I started, let's say, as a business development specialist. This role was about establishing relationships with potential games distributors. And that means that before, buying from certain company, my main focus was on double checking if this partner is reliable and we can trust him by sending money upfront. And this was actually the point where I made my first Excel with potential things to check before sending money to any partner. I called this document security card. And during the years, it was improved a lot and still used by G2A employees. So I have this ability to connect the dots and at the same time catch details, let's say, that should match and actually do not match. And within a year, I became responsible for more and more markets. In 2014, actually, G2A changed its business model to a marketplace model, two-sided marketplace model, where buyers and sellers can transact with each other. It was a time when I was promoted as a head of marketplace, as many of my ideas, had a positive impact on our business, and many of my observations and suggestions turned into an effective business solution. So today, G2A is the largest marketplace for digital entertainment, and I am responsible for the entire platform and R&D area as a chief R&D officer, basically.
That's really nice. Your journey story is really nice and inspiring too. So, like security is mainly dominated by male. So, being a woman, what all challenges initially or still you are facing?
Uh, Cybersecurity actually is similar to gaming, very masculine industry. When I first started at G2A, a leading e-commerce platform with a strong gaming community, I had yet to gain experience in the gaming or tech industry. I was able to utilize my leadership and people knowledge to bring a fresh perspective into the business. If you are a gamer, then you like specific games. On the other hand, not being a big fan of any, you can then make a good assessment of the sales potential because you are not driven by your own preferences. So having in mind that I accumulated more than 10 years of experience in the marketplace business where we have sellers and buyers, and cybersecurity actually applies to both users of the marketplace. In addition, we are operating within digital products that are sold by sellers. So they are coming to our buyers through our system almost instantly, which make it really necessary to be well prepared to defend the platform. I think that there are multiple avenues to becoming a tech professional, and while everyone will have the unique journey, here, let's say, I have got some tips on embarking on a career path in a dynamic and ever-evolving field. While a technological background can be, in my opinion, advantages, it's a flexible requirement to succeed in the tech industry. Still, breaking into the tech can be challenging, and rejection may be part of the journey. However, it's essential to remain resilient. Your commitment actually to learning and adapting will be your most significant asset in overcoming hurdles and building a successful career path. And this is something that I value actually the most.
Yeah, so like we talk about challenges, so there must be some opportunities also for the women. Like if they grab it, they can excel it. So would you like to share some opportunities for the women who want to enter this field?
Yeah, I think that the most important quality is human curiosity and openness. We are actually able to learn literally everything. I always been drawn to areas that are considered more masculine. I wanted to prove that they are unnecessary stereotypes. My advice for girls, for women who wish to pursue a career in technology and e-commerce in general, is actually have the courage to speak up. Often the external meetings with business partners, I hear congratulations that are there are not many women in the gaming industry, in the cybersecurity. This is not the case with our company exactly, because at G2A we have got more than 40% of our staff are women. But being a woman in male-dominated industry can often lead to a feeling of a bit loneliness. But remember that you are not the only one. I strongly advise to look for support and encouragement among other colleagues, looking for other women, other girls that have got similar position, and don't be afraid to ask for support, for advice, even, for exchanging doubts, ideas. This kind of network, in my opinion, is also very important. And I observe also a generational shift. Many men are really supportive women in the industry that are still considered very masculine. So we just have to take advantage of that. So there will often be times when you will be the only one or one of the few women on your team. But let's be honest, don't let that discourage you. I think this is kind of something that we need to take advantage of, and speaking loudly and, having this courage to move on.
Okay, so like as you mentioned in your like just now, that staying up to date to the latest trend is also important in the field, in this field. So are there any particular tips or like strategies you follow, or steps that you keep yourself updated with the ongoing things in this field? You would like to share with us?
You mean mostly about the cybersecurity as a development of the career?
Yeah, as cybersecurity, it's a field that's keep on like evolving. So you need to keep updated. So what all?
So in first place, I think internal team works to make sure that all the latest trends are known and implemented. I am also a big fan of joint workshops with external partners where we can exchange knowledge, analyze difficult cases, sometimes with industries that are not digital, also because if the case never occurs with us, the behavioral analysis itself is still valuable. So also cooperation with external partners, for example, covering the protection from chargebacks. On our side, we have got a partner called Just, with which we have got conducted many workshops together, let's say, to combat the chargebacks. And this is, in my opinion, a big value to the business. And not but least, increasing awareness and training company employees on monthly basis to stay vigilant against any potential cyber attacks, establishing security culture within the organization as a part of a broader strategy. And this is maybe something not very common, but conducting simulated attacks and regular training sessions. I think that this is increasing employees' awareness, because they can do trainings, but they have to learn how to use that in practice. And I think that general hygiene of internet use, right, is also important. We often see things published, let's say, that should be not published. We try to teach our users that when we see that they share sensitive data, for example, in social media or something, education is the most important thing.
Right, right. So now I would like to know about the tactics you employ basically to identify vulnerabilities or exploit vulnerabilities.
Let's say that I think that it is important to mention the rise of AI in cybersecurity on both sides. Unfortunately, also the geopolitical situation in the world means that the fight also takes place on the level of cyber attacks, disinformation, fake news. AI tools from one point, let's say, they can be helpful, but for the other side, they are also used by hackers and cyber criminals to increase the numbers of attacks and find loopholes faster. And some of methods I find really extremely difficult to detect. In addition, it is always the most difficult decision about security. Where is this balance not to secure to the point that business could suffer, right? So companies need to implement AI solutions in order to fight this threat and keep up with the, another potential issue could be working remotely. So our also big focus is of, protecting the endpoint security for remote workplaces like VPNs, cloud-based tools, increase employee training, let's say, against attacks.
Okay, so what do you see is the most pressing issue that organizations should address to enhance their security?
The most pressing issue, I think, is that right now, after pandemic, everyone is online, and people are not everyone is prepared, let's say, to do that in a good way. And companies, they have to be aware that they have spent much more in order to protect their businesses against cyber attacks, and they have to invest in cybersecurity much more than before.
Okay, so what are the particular strategy, or you take up any courses or something like that to enhance your, or you to improve your skills and expertise in this field, and so that our listeners also know, okay, what should they do to keep their skills up to date?
I think that security is a broad area covering, infrastructure, networks, application, employee equipment, and employees itself. To implement, let's say, cybersecurity strategy, I think that the most important is to find the best partners, external companies for security tests and trainings, and to cooperate with them on daily basis. These are global, local, recognized companies with appropriate certification and experienced experts. We also educate people in the topic of threat recognition, neutralization, and safe software development. We have trainings, courses, webinars, and workshops pointing out the right attitude to protect, let's say, against attacks, and learning the latest technologies and possible threats. we encourage our employees to participate in communities, forums, groups, industry conferences, and I guess that this is also something that is helping us to be up to date always. Thanks to this, we establish contacts with industry professionals and experienced experts that allow us to exchange experiences and obtain new information. And we keep up to date with trends and news related to the cybersecurity, but I think that this is something that everyone should do. And periodically, we also do independent audits, which assess the current state of security of the processes used. We can compare the results with the self-assessment, identifying areas requiring improvement and determining directions for the development of specific competence.
You do an R&D and everything like that. So you must there must be a point where you feel burnout or pressure. So how do you handle that burnout thing or the mental that stress you have, because you need to balance both your professional career and your family. So how do you strike that balance, keeping your mental insane?
Being responsible for the website that is available 24 hours, 7 days per week means that the balance should be met somehow. Myself, I am a big hard worker. I have got a 4 years old daughter, and I was always able, let's say, to find this balance. I don't like the statement work-life balance, because in my opinion, it's not existing. The balance is sometimes more on work side and sometimes on family side. Important thing is to be able to decide by yourself about that. So this is what I think about that. But I also like working with people that have got a big expertise in the field, that are curious, that are looking for solutions without pushing them to looking for solutions, that are curious about the matter. This is, in my opinion, also something that is helpful to keep, let's say, up to date on that field, and to be able to supervise such a big part of business as G2A is.
Okay. So my next question to you is, given the current landscape of cybersecurity threats, what do you see as the most pressing issue for the organization to address when it's come to intelligence, threat intelligence, or when it comes to the vulnerabilities, when it's come to, so how do organization tackle those things? What they need to do basically?
As I said before, I think that the most important thing is to not underinvest such part of the business. It is important to look at this, because also a few numbers, let's say, that I can mention that will actually be kind of self-explanatory. As I said before the pandemic, certain areas of business and life were present online, but after pandemic, almost all of them are present online. And cybercrime costs are predicted, let's say, to reach 9.5 trillion in 2024. So the projection for global spending on security and risk management in 2024 has increased by 14%, totaling, let's say, 215 almost billion of dollars. So many people are not educated yet in cybersecurity, and I think that the most important thing is to changing that. So putting a big pressure highlight on educating in cybersecurity, because this will be more and more problematic for many businesses, because this is also after pandemic evolved a lot.
Right. So like we are doing one like dedicating one entire month to women in cybersecurity, basically to celebrate them, to like make them yes, they are doing really great job. So Like, do you think they also need mentorship, or they also need some kind of support or backing when they are in low phase of their area, or yeah, or when they feel down or disheartened? Because this career is literally, as we have already talked earlier, that this career totally mean dominated, and time and dedication you need is totally hard, because you never know when a cyber attack happened, and then you have to do all R&D and something like that. So do you think that women need special mentorship or something like that to handle that pressure?
Um, you know, I think that that the most important is to, let's say, focus on recruiting women with high competence, and create internal programs also that will increase the competence of female employees, and rebranding, maybe moving to the cybersecurity department. I- In my personal opinion, I think women can bring specific skills to the team and the company that they may be missing in a male-dominated workforce, right? As well as that can bring skills missing from a male-dominated environment. So I think that combining, teams into the very diverse teams is always with the benefit for the business value.
So you just talk about the skills. So what all different skills women bring in with themselves? Just now, can you elaborate on it?
Yeah, sure. I think that when comparing men and women, men they are much more risk takers,
Right.
right?
Right.
While women are very oriented into details, which is very important in cybersecurity because details matters, and sometimes one detail that could be different, that something that it could open another threat, right? So I think those two I will mention as the examples.
Okay. Okay. So that's a Dorota from my end. If you have any other, like, if you think I have left out something, or you want to highlight something to our listener that they must know about it, you can please share your thoughts on it.
Thank you very much. I think that this discussion was very interesting. I guess that this positive trend in the industry is coming. That many women will be more and more interested in cybersecurity. And what I would like to leave people, let's say, with today is that this educational part in terms of cybersecurity is something at which I think everyone should pay attention on, because will have more and more importance nowadays.
So from, I believe from this interview, we have taken a very good takeaway, especially that education is the most important thing. You need to keep yourself updated and keep yourself educated, so that you are aware that any kind of a attack can happen with you. So you are already aware and prepare about it. And the second most important thing is that if you bring in women in your team, you get a different and exclusive skill set, with the combination can be deadly, and the team can work
Correct.
like more efficiently, I can say that. Thank you so much
Yes.
for your time and your meaningful advices and your thoughts that women must be motivated, who all will be listening our podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.